disaster.
It is estimated that 90 million Americans are obese, and in 5 years, 30 million more Americans will fall into that category. National leaders are in the Triangle right now to try to come up with ways to fight the problem. Kevin Holmes is in Chapel Hill with what you need to know to get involved. Kevin.
Bill, those statistics are pretty startling. We know it's on the rise nationally. That also proves to be the case right here in the Tar Heel state. Over the last 15 years, obesity has risen 80%. 80%. State lawmakers are going to be here. The mayor of Durham will be at the news conference at 11 o'clock, as well as retired four-star General Barry McCaffrey. Thanks for joining us this morning. What brings you guys to Durham, to North Carolina, to the Triangle to talk about obesity, and how big of a problem is this?
Well, Kevin, it's a huge problem, and it's not only the national crisis in obesity, and particularly here in North Carolina, but across the country. And what comes along with it, besides being stigmatized in the workplace, is hypertension, heart problems, diabetes. It's just a national crisis. So what we're going to try and do is bring attention to it. We'll be out at Wellspring at Structure House. Structure House is the crown jewel that we've got in CRC Health Group to deal with the issue. They've treated 30,000 people. And I think what your viewers ought to understand is you can do something about it.
What can you do?
Well, first of all, log on to structurehouse.com. Get educated, understand healthy living, how to relate to food, how to reduce your fat content, salt content, and raw sugar. So I think to some extent, it's an education problem.
General McCaffrey, a lot of our viewers tend to think there's also a problem, as we talked earlier, about economics. How can you deal with obesity when you have a double cheeseburger for $1, you have a salad for $5, and you're struggling to pay bills?
Well, no question. And again, I think a lot of this is lifestyle and education driven. But in our fast-paced society, we do tend to see in lower income levels more dependence upon fast foods, unhealthy eating. I think one of the great gifts, to be blunt now, Michelle Obama has brought to this discussion is the attention on youth. If you're overweight and you're a child, the chances of you continuing to be obese are enormous. So again, 11 o'clock, Wellspring at Structure House, a platform to talk about obesity as a national crisis, and even more so here in North Carolina.
A national crisis brought to the local front to discuss this. Some folks may be watching, may be wondering, why should I come out today? Today's event is free and open to the public. What nugget do you expect folks to take home with them? Why should they come out?
Well, I think one thing they'll take home is optimism. Look, every Sunday we bring in probably 25, 30 people at Structure House. They lose 5.5% of their body weight in 4 weeks. A year later, they're probably down 14%. But even more importantly, when they walk out the door 4 weeks later, a lot of their blood tests indicate a dramatic reversal, cholesterol, etc. So I'd be optimistic. Find out about it either on structurehouse.com, watch your TV station coverage this evening, and get educated and do something, particularly about your young people.
General McCaffrey, thank you so much for your time,
Kevin,
sir. Again, the news conference, 11 o'clock today at the Structure House in Durham. We'll have much more in the next half hour, including you hear from Andy Eckert, who's the CEO of CRC, the largest behavioral treatment provider in the country. We'll have more in our 7 o'clock hour on Fox 50.
All right, Kevin Holmes, thank you very much.